Hi everybody! This is a quick first impression of a sketchbook that I just received. So this sketchbook is fairly minimalist, I would say, because there isn't a proper cover. Can you look at the edges? They are not your normal sketchbook. They actually has got the frayed edges. It just feels very raw, very cool. And it's fairly thick, so you actually do get like quite a lot of paper with this. And the binding, well, you don't really, it's really paper plus thread, that's all, and a little bit of glue, that's all. So this is a sketchbook from Khadi Papers. So Khadi Papers, they are a manufacturer of papers, handmade cotton watercolor paper from India. And this one here that I have, it doesn't say here what this is, all right, but on the packaging it says the BB4WS Smooth, all right. So I went to Google what BB4 WS Smooth means, and this is what I found. All right, it is the Khadi paper logbook sketchbook smooth surface, 210 GSM, and the size is 21 cm times 25 cm. And this opens up as a landscape mode, so it does allow you to do a long format drawing, and you can also turn it around and can do like a portrait. All right, so generally I would say that I love the color of the paper. It is not too creamy, it's not too white. So this is the Bao Hong paper. So the Bao Hong paper is slightly more creamy, and I find this Khadi paper is actually more white. So I really like the white, how white it is, and how beautiful the colors actually look after I use them on the paper itself. You can actually do fairly decent drawing with a thin scratchy nib, EF nib on the platinum pen. So let's start with the fast. Okay, slow. Feels smooth to write, all right. I also do this for line over wash, okay. Does not feel any different, but I would like to just point out that the pen has actually a little ball of fiber, okay. But if you are using a thicker nib, like a fatter nib, flex nib, full day nib, just be careful that you can get all these feathering. But it doesn't bleed to the other side. There is quite a lot of feathering when you use a thick nib, right? And if you actually take the time to slowly draw, you'll see all these feathering, which is not so optimum. So let's try with the ink over wash. And see some feathering as well. Okay. So this would be actually even more apparent if you can actually see that the lines are starting to get flurry and flurrier and flurrier. You can do fairly okay soft edge when it's still wet. So let's try the wet. Let's try the paint. Soft edge, okay. I think it's definitely possible, all right. Just soften the whole thing out, right. Okay, this is still when it's a little bit wet, okay. So now we're going to try the dry soft edge when we leave the paint to dry, to see if that can happen. Okay, so what we notice is that it's not really possible unless you break the surface. Can you see the balls of fabric of the cover, the paper that has come off? So it will form like quite a distinctive hard edge, which you can't really soften when it's dry. With glazes, actually quite okay, but probably when it reaches about the third layer, it will start to have the problem that we see with the lifting, where we can't really do a lot of heavy lifting out of the colors because the surface is not very, it will not be integral after like a few scratches or a few lifting, scrubbing. And I'm actually quite scared to try the lifting because I don't think it would work. Okay, so now I'm just using one Bristol. Oh, can you see? This is definitely not going to work. So yeah, it's not possible to actually scrub anything off because the surface is not going to be able to take it. Can you see that it has starting to come out? Yeah. Okay, so definitely no lifting, no heavy lifting, right? Definitely no heavy lifting. Okay, that is definitely not going to work. When on wet wise, it does warp and bloat a bit when you use a lot of water. But I really quite like the design. So I actually use a fair lot of the granulating pigments, and you can actually see they settle here and there in the fiber, the paper surface, and it really looks very, very nice. Works fairly well with ink. Although this is the Duochromatic ink, I do not really see a lot of the duality, but this line here is actually bleach. The bleach works. We can't really see any sheen from the sheening ink. The shimmer is there, so yeah. So I guess it's actually possibly okay for fairly light ink and wash, and not to use, if you're using some thicker pen, try not to use this sketchbook. Use pens with smaller nib, or if the ink is slightly less runny or less fluid. And don't use a very thick, don't use too much water, and don't try to remove your paint by scrubbing. And works okay with ink. So that's the quick summary I have for this Khadi paper block book sketchbook, smooth 210 GSM paper. Thank you so much for joining me in this quick first impression video that I have for this sketchbook. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If there are other sketchbooks that you'd like me to review, let me know in the description box down below. And if you'd like to see similar videos, do not forget to subscribe, all right? And hit the notification bell to get a notification when I have a new video. So I'll see you in the next video. Yep, bye.